think family wants perfection out of us?
I think family wants us to be who we've been since we were 7.
Nah, you're right.
Yeah,
though.
it's like
you're right though. You can't grow. You
it's
can't.
like promotes the idea of childhood trauma, and it's like
so like, damn, you know who you was at the fucking cookout when we was 12 years old. No. I'm not actually.
I'm not.
I'm not the nigga that I was at 19.
No,
I can't keep doing that shit.
And that's why I said.
Welcome to Divine Purpose Podcast with your host Daniel and
Patrice Myers. In this podcast, you will be introduced to the 3 C's:
comedy, conversations, and community. Join the discussion with fellow entrepreneurs, community activists,
with our major focus on the beauty of family in our community. Episodes drop every Tuesday. Whether inspirational or ratchet, all conversations have a divine purpose. So do I say corny or do you say corny?
You wrote it.
Welcome to another episode of Divine Purpose Podcast with your host Patrice and
Daniel Myers.
All right, guys, how y'all been doing? It's been a minute. We took unintentional breaks, but here we are.
We're trying to get this every Tuesday thing down pat. But you know, we be arguing and shit. So, welcome to another episode of Divine Purpose Podcast. Which one start with, love?
The cancellation of the last event.
Yeah, we had to cancel the last one. It fucking snowed.
The
last live at Culture Coffee 2. It was supposed to be March 12th, and who would have expected a goddamn snow on March the fucking 12th?
Yeah. Winter was not leaving the building. Still hasn't left the building.
Right.
It is currently 50 degrees outside.
Yeah, we damn near close to April now.
Yeah, so
this is getting beyond ridiculous.
Yeah, it's no longer. I mean, winter's never been fun, so it's time to go.
Like a motherfucker.
What's the new date?
The new date is April 9th, and hopefully we have a sunny, beautiful day in April.
That's what I'm hoping for as well. We open up 25 more tickets for just in case the people who originally were supposed to come can't make it for April 9th. We understand. So we open up 25 more tickets for the people who were saying that they didn't see any more tickets available. Right. So we'll announce that on social media, as well as you could just go to our Eventbrite and look up Divine Purpose Podcast, which is where we'll put a lot of our up and coming events as well up there. So again, the new date is April 9th from 4 to 8. Same great place, Culture Coffee 2. The guests may even change because everyone's availability. But we'll keep you guys posted on who will be there and what we will be discussing. We'll still stay the same. Same great energy. Drinks by Drunk Birds won't be there, but she will be mixing the drinks. So again, like I said, a lot of people won't be in. A couple of people won't be available, but we still have the band.
You're still gonna have the band. Still gonna be there. We're still gonna have a good goddamn time. So
always
bring your fucking face. Anybody that's been around us knows how our energy is. So let us see your face in the place. That's it.
Yep.
April 9th. We did do the Tantra Yoga though.
We did.
That event was good. And we will open that one back up again because that was very well received, and a lot of people said they would like to do it after visually seeing what was done.
Oh, is that what you heard?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't hear no.
Yeah, someone told me they would do it. Like they would do it. Like
what did you hear?
So okay, when you hear Tantra Yoga, you're like, oh, what the fuck is about to be a fucking orgy or some crazy shit. But seeing the little bit of footage that we took and put out, it was like, oh, that was like you really doing yoga with your partner, and it has a sexual connotation, but they was able to see the yoga, so they would be more apt to do it. Oh, seeing it.
Oh, I didn't know that you had received that feedback from people.
Yeah.
I believe that the interesting part about the Tantra Yoga was when we sent a survey and I asked the people that were in attendance would they prefer to have done it virtually, because I was thinking that maybe we should do Tantra Yoga virtually, because some people may not feel comfortable
In the
being showing intimacy in front of others, not like sex, but like just intimacy. So the people that were there was like, no, they prefer that it is in person. And so I feel like with the Tantra Yoga, what I think is that if there is a lot of different activities and you bring people into that as well, I think it will be a little bit more well received. So I'm looking forward to still having it as part of our retreats.
Yeah,
Which
that's definite.
so our retreats when we travel away. So I'm still looking forward to doing it for that, and that's interesting to know that people looked at it and was like, oh.
It's just that. You know, people think we spicy in the moment. I don't know what the fuck people be thinking, right? Because you just licked your lips.
Look at my lips because my lips was dry. And my husband, I got up to go find some Vaseline, and he looked at me like, "Oh, so you don't want to record anymore?" I just don't want to have ashy lips on the podcast.
I didn't even.
Guys, the camera was still rolling. He'll see the playback.
I didn't get that at all.
He'll see the playback because this says 15 on the live stream. But technically for y'all, it's like the first 30 seconds. When he looks back at this, he'll hear himself.
Okay.
He'll hear himself.
Yeah.
So, anywho, but yeah, so I just licked my lips because I didn't want them to be dry.
Boy, they look good when you lick them.
Thank you. So yeah, Tantra Yoga was good. And then what's up next? We have our vineyard trip.
Oh shit, yeah, that's gonna be nice. That's gonna be April 23rd. We have a bus trip going to
Del Plain
Vineyards in Virginia.
Yeah, and then we're going to the Oyster Bar.
Yeah, King Street.
Oyster Bar afterwards.
It's like a day trip.
Yeah, a day trip, a bus trip. Mm-hmm. So you ain't got to worry about driving back drunk.
Nope.
You can.
Took care of that for you.
You get as tipsy as you want. Time. Drive back into the city and Uber your ass is home. So...
that's gonna be nice. I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm looking forward to that too. We haven't been to a vineyard in a minute.
Yeah, it's about good.
I think it's been almost.
That's been a year.
Oh, I was about to say a year, but it hasn't because
it's not been a year. We went in the fall. It's in the winter. We haven't.
We went in the fall.
Yeah, we went in the fall with the Scots. That was in the fall.
I think that was
summer. That was in October.
No.
Summertime we went on Father's Day. Father's Day is in June. Then we went after Father's Day, and that was like in the fall.
Nah, I think that was like summer. I think that was like August.
Well, regardless, one of the reasons why we haven't gone since August is the beginning of the fall season because we don't fuck with the cold weather.
But you know, vineyards is still open in the winter.
I know, but I'm not driving all the way out to no cold ass mountain in Virginia in the winter. I don't even want to be outside in that type of cold weather in the mountains. So now that the weather's breaking, I'm all for it. Fuck the cold.
Vineyard season, so I'm definitely ready to try some wine. We haven't been in a minute, so I'm looking forward to that. And those tickets will go on sale
next week,
probably next week for sure. Next week, by the time this episode is up,
yeah, definitely.
Probably tickets.
By the time this episode is up, if you heard us talk about this, you might as well go to the goddamn Eventbrite, Divine Purpose Eventbrite, and click it. They'd probably be sold out by now. All right, what we got today, love?
I don't know. You tell me.
So, okay. Clips and clips and clips. It's a clip that Ricky Smiley did that I thought we might make up for a good discussion. He's basically talking about family. And, you know, what he's talking about in the clip, he's basically saying you don't choose the. Yeah, I'll let him say it.
Let him play it. Yeah, let him say it.
People that's not related to you will show you more love and respect than your own biological kids or nieces or nephews or cousins or mamas or daddy. Family is what people who you surround yourself with. They give you love and affection. That's your family. You get to create your family. You don't get to choose who's in an email every week at work. That sweet old lady that speak to you when you walk in the building. There you God giving you what you need. There your grandmama right there. Miss Pat, Miss Janie. I ain't got no grandparent. They dead and gone. I can go to Miss Janie's house and sit at her table and eat some whatever she cooked and argue and get cussed out and everything else because I know it come from a good place. Stop kissing these kids' ass just because they're yours are trying to overcompensate for their lack of a father not being there, mother not be there. Love who love you. Love yourself enough to not to get disrespected by no Negro, whether they're yours or not. Cut them off. Stop gracing people with your presence and being kind to folks that mistreat you and don't love you and that will get out there and mistreat you.
Damn. First of all, look at that nigga's face. He's been hurt, clearly. And a lot of us have been hurt by family. So I thought that clip was interesting as it brings up a good discussion in that, you know, a lot of times marriages have or relationships have problems, not just from like finances or not just from, you know, sex. It also comes from a lot of times people having to choose between their family and their mate. And or just how they feel in general from being treated by their family. And we take more things from family than we would anybody else. Family or friends or close friends and family. Like those are the ones that if something goes wrong, it hurts the most. So I just thought it was an interesting topic.
Yeah, I felt I've been feeling that way for a long time since a lot of the since where I am with my family, and when I reflect back over my years growing up in my family, the different relationships I have, the how comfortable I was, how uncomfortable I was, the pressure, all of those different things. When I reflect back over that, and I think like, was I being like just love for myself, or was I was the expectation supposed to be of me being someone else? I've been feeling for a long time that like family isn't always your blood. Like there's a lot of people who are blessed to still have great relationships with their blood family, as well as a lot of other people. And the majority of those people who I see that do still have great relationships with their family is because there's a level of openness.
That's a fact.
I think that if you have to not be yourself around people, then it's just not fun and it's not comfortable. So I get it. I feel like that's another reason why even with Kayla Kiera during our separation, I had a moment where I was about to do what a lot of single moms do, which is put everything into Kayla Kiera and date my kids.
What you mean? That I got you. I know what you mean.
Now my kids are the ones that I go on dates with.
Yeah, I see that a lot.
All my whole life is revolved around my kids, but at the end of the day, I might not even like these little niggas when they grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, spoil and rotten. You know, spending all this time with, and then on top of that, they grow. They grow up and they have their own life. So then you have a whole nother heartbreak because you gave so much to them and you made them your world.
So that's why. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
That's why I thought it was interesting with him talking about, because he started off saying your kids. He didn't start off talking about your parents or nothing like that. He was like, even if you have kids, cut them off. I don't know how I feel about that one. Like what you just said, I can't cut. I don't know. Yeah. I haven't been put in that situation, but I don't know that I can cut someone off that comes from me.
Well, you don't like cutting people off, period.
Right. That's true.
That's
why the clip stood out to me the most.
Yeah, that's just who you are. That's just the type of person that you are. You allow except for me. But
you, what you mean?
Yeah, you cut me off. I mean, that's
why we're here right now.
I know, but that's also why we were not here for 7 years.
But I never cut you off because here we are.
You cut me off. So yeah, and that's what it was saying too. Being you actually brought it up in when you first said being more difficult with other people versus your family, and
that's why I said fair. As I sit back and listen, I initiated the divorce.
So like but yeah, so I wouldn't expect you to understand it because that's just not your personality,
right?
And you are the person who has allowed. I have, you're like a lot of people that I see who have allowed different things to happen in the family, and because it's blood, it's okay. Mm-hmm. But abuse and trauma and negativity is that period, regardless of who it's coming from. You know what I mean?
Because you can totally create a whole nother atmosphere by putting yourself around. Like what he said, what he was saying, like he created a new grandmother and his grandmother's dead and gone. And he knows she can have that same feeling like a grandmother, but it might not necessarily be his grandmother.
Blood grandmother. Mm-hmm.
Right, because, and if you could do that and replace a grandmother, then you can replace whoever, because it's like, and it's not even has to be a replacement. It's just putting yourself around people. Your family is those that are going where you're going, feel like you feel. It should be a place of love.
That accept you as you're growing. That's who your family is. Yeah, they accept you as you're growing and expect you to grow.
Do you think family wants perfection out of us?
I think family wants us to be who we've been since we were 7.
Nah, you're right.
Yeah,
though.
It's like
you're right though. You can't grow.
It's like promotes the idea of childhood trauma, and it's like
like, damn, you know who you was at the fucking cookout when we was 12 years old. No. I'm not actually.
I'm not.
I'm not the nigga that I was at 19.
No,
I can't keep doing that shit.
And that's why I said I believe that family, or just friendship or love in general, promotes and wants to see someone grow.
Right.
And also real love too, and real unconditional love is if somebody's growth means that you guys may no longer be. That's really unconditional love. Mm-hmm. When you say, "Ooh, you know what? I can't go in that space." Like, and it's because I'm not ready, or it's just not an environment I want to be in. But you go ahead and you do that, and it might mean that for a period in time, like you may be distanced as a family, and that's okay. That's okay. Or as a loved one, that's okay, because people have to grow. Mm-hmm. So I feel like what's always been missing on my end in a lot of my relationships, and I really, next time I go to therapy, I'm gonna bring this up as to what I'm attracting. Because I feel like I attract a lot of people in my life, or what am I putting forth? But I feel like I attract a lot of people in my life who are extremely devastated when I do something different.
Different
than what they know me for. So it's like whichever way I meet you, meaning like even in friendships, if I met, or friendships, whatever, if I met you this way, as I grow into another space, it's like all of a sudden it's this like, oh, you've changed, and it's like, yeah,
your closest friends are the ones that are okay with your change.
Yeah, I have changed. You're
supposed to.
And so, or it's like, oh, you don't, or offended if I don't like something that I used to like, and it's like, what am I doing? I guess I got to figure out what I'm doing, because I can't no longer blame like you or anybody else, but what am I doing to promote the idea of perfection? Because
I don't think you're alone in that space. I don't think you're alone in that space. I think a lot of people try to be perfect. I think one of the things, like when we were on the, remember when we was recording with Tim and Deirdre, right? Mm-hmm. And Tim said, I just wish women knew that they didn't have to be so perfect. And I think it's not, I'm saying you're not alone in that.
Well, I think that is more so in like putting down the mask of trying to be perfect, but I don't feel like I'm trying to be.
Mm-hmm. You feel like people want you to be.
Yeah. Right. I don't feel like I'm trying to be. I don't feel
Maybe
like I'm
you're
trying
so
to be perfect.
good at everything.
I don't know. Like at this point, it's like I might as well be a bum. Like at least I have room to go up.
So
but when you, I guess, at a certain level in everyone's eyes, like you got to stay there. And it's like, but what if I only want to be at 50% today? Like
50% day.
What if it's a 50% day? What if just not even a whole day? What if it's a 50% moment? And it's like I'm trying to figure out. I guess. So I was watching Poor Minds. So this reminds me of what I saw on Poor Minds. Poor Minds had this episode where they was talking about on the first the first time you had sex with somebody, do you pull out all the stops?
Yeah.
Or do you wait?
Not.
And so the reason why would you not, is because the expectation is to always be there.
Right.
So the other girl was saying that she does like a little bit of this, a little bit of that every time. And I think maybe I live a life of pulling out all the stops. So
you come out the gate like, ta-da!
Yeah, so therefore when I do say I'ma just chill, it's like, what? And so maybe I have to approach life and situations in a different way where I go in. But then that's unauthentic to me. And that's not fair, because that's just how I am. So no, I'm not going to do that. But I'm just talking through this. Literally, I'm
listening.
In this moment, having this thought. So I'm just talking through it. But I just don't know. I don't know. But it's got to be something to this that I have to unpack in therapy, and I don't know.
It's okay not to know. It's okay not to know sometimes. I don't know a whole lot of shit, and I just go into it like I know it all. Trial and error.
Well, there has definitely been a lot of error
and
trials.
There's never been a successful story without a lot of trial and errors. That's how I feel.
Where did we hear that from yesterday?
Yesterday?
We heard that exact.
I didn't hear that yesterday.
We heard that statement yesterday. We was watching Earn Your Leisure. Steve Harvey joint.
But not just him. I've heard it. Shit, fucking Ice said that back on our show. Like back in when we was at Blue and Yellow Studios. Remember, Ice said, I look forward to the failure. I fail all the fucking time. Every time I fail, I'm looking for the next lesson. So it's not that that's not part of it. So fucking Will Smith talks about failing his way forward. Les Brown talks about it. Anytime you hear someone talking about a successful story, whether it be someone that became a billionaire, the Kanye Wests, the Jay-Z's, the whoever, it's not one of those stories that was handed to them. It's not talking about the people that build what they're building. Not one of those stories have all of those stories have several failures within them until they came who they were. So that's what I mean by that. So yeah, I have made several errors.
Do you feel like you actually live the statement of do you think that, okay, on a scale of a percentage, do you feel like you actually really, really believe that failure is a lesson?
At this point in my life, I absolutely do, because I failed enough times to know every time I fucked up, I took something from it that I'm not going to do the next time.
Oh, I don't feel that in our current situation. I feel like that is a statement that is that you're definitely I feel like you're trying to work towards, but
because I'm in the middle of it.
Yeah,
I'm in the middle of
trying to work.
It's not. I'm not sitting up here acting like I am the billionaire.
Well, what I can say is that I don't believe. Let me finish. I hear this statement. I'm saying I hear that statement of failure is supposed to look at failure as a lesson, and I hear that statement, and I subscribe to that statement. But if I was to say right now, do I actually live in that and believe that wholeheartedly? I feel like I am still like probably 60% like fuck that, and 40% I guess. That's where I am with that. Like, that's my honest statement.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I hear it.
I know.
And I agree with it. But 60% of it, I'm saying fuck it.
Right. And that's because literally it takes so much energy to get an airplane off the fucking ground, and you're in the middle of the fucking. That's why it feels like that. It feels like that to me too. But I know what's on the other side. That's why I agree with the statement, because I know what happens, and I know right now the runway is here. I know the fucking engine has started again, because I've tried it before and I didn't get off the ground. But right now, again, I'm back on the motherfucking runway, and it's and it takes that energy, and once it's up, and then it goes through that shit, and it's gone. So yeah, I feel the same fucking way. I feel 60% of it, yeah.
Oh, that's not what you said when you look at the playback.
What
you
I
was
said
like, you was all in it.
I am. I'm in. You're not understanding what I'm saying.
That's a different scenario to take off. Like, I get the take off.
That's where I'm.
That's a different scenario. The takeoff is different. The takeoff is different because we have been in several different planes and tried and attempted to take off.
Correct.
Like, that part is different. Like, we're right now in the space of the Wright brothers trying to fly the first airplane. Which is our airplane. You didn't understand that statement?
Our airplane.
What?
The Wright brothers, the first people that created the airplane. You're saying now this is our airplane. I am on the same page.
Yeah, so it's like there has been a lot of failures, and we have gotten off the ground and fell back down, and now we're trying to actually coast through the air and actually get back up in the air. But I get, but it still doesn't. I don't think I've settled into the statement of understanding how important failure is to my success.
But you said you believe the statement.
I believe it, but I haven't settled. There's so many different. That's what I'm saying. It's like life is so complicated. You can believe a lot of statements. You can believe you have the faith in God, but have you actually let go and let God?
Right.
Because that's faith. That's another level of faith. And so it's like all these different layers to life. So it's one thing to hear a statement, agree with a statement, but it's another thing to rest in it and actually truly believe in it. Right. So that's what I'm saying. It's like I have a belief in God, but do I rest in the Lord and know that all my kids are going to be taken care of? I haven't got to that level of faith. I'm learning that level of faith. There are certain aspects of my life where I can show that level of faith, but that level of faith is not in my whole life.
I think that level of faith comes from, and I think people think let go and let God just means you just free falling and God's just going to carry you. I don't think that's what the saying means. If I had to translate it for myself, I think letting go and let God meaning, okay, God, you might be put in a situation where you can recognize things before you that just like this wasn't nothing but God. I'm not supposed to be here. I didn't put myself in this situation. I wasn't asking for this. I was looking for something else, absolutely, totally. But I'm here and I'm sitting in it, and damn, I'm just gonna go with this shit and see where the fuck it take me. But I know it's gonna take works, because faith without work is also dead. So you can rest in knowing that if I just keep walking forward, the path is going to be laid before me. And when you see that path laid before you, you go, because you know it was presented to you from God. It's almost like that saying where we're praying for things from God, and God will send it in many different ways, and we'll miss the blessing because we're waiting on the hand of God to pick you up. He sent you a helicopter, sent you a boat, sent you a goddamn doggy with a doggy paddle and to help you get back to shore, but you sitting there treading water, waiting on the hand of the fucking, waiting for the sky to open up. Die. And now you are dead because now you ran out of energy because you can't tread water for so long. Yeah. So I think letting go and letting God is just like, I'm letting go, but I have to be open and aware of the things that are coming before me. That's how I feel. And I feel like we're in that space or getting in that space.
Yeah, so that definitely went off a tangent from the original topic.
But you know, it's interesting.
But it's all kind of the same perspective.
It is kind of the same perspective.
Because part of the letting go and letting God too is understanding when people are a part of just part of a chapter in your book.
Yes.
And maybe not a character that goes through the whole book. Mm-hmm. And I think in the aspect of like letting go, letting God, and also loving people, it's making sure your heart is open for love from other people and truth from everybody in your life. You gotta make room. I think sometimes sometimes the chaos that may be in family will prevent from the love that you could receive from outside entities, because you're trying to ask and you're asking people to give you something that they can't give you. And
they can't give you because they might not even be able to see you in a different light.
Yeah, or they just don't have the capacity to. Yeah. And it's okay to understand, like, oh, okay, you don't have that capacity to, and I wish that you did. And it's like, okay, so I know where you are. This is what I get from you. Anything outside of that, until you actually show yourself, I have to allow you to give me what I know you're supposed to give me. What I know you can. And so I think, we can't force people to grow when we grow, love us the way we want to be loved and all that stuff. But you just allow people to be. And I think I'm trying. It's hard. It's very hard to allow people to be when you see so much greatness. And I think I just answered my question, is that I expect so much. I think I low key do live a life full of expectations that I don't speak out loud from people.
People? Mm-hmm. Meaning what?
Expectations that I have for relationships and for people that I don't necessarily say out loud. Okay. And I think in turn the mirror that comes to me is that same level of expectations.
Instead of just allowing people to be who they are. Mm-hmm. People are people. And everybody's different. So I do that. I know the fuck I do that. I know I do it. I might have a perception of who I think somebody is, and I put it, even if these motherfuckers have shown me who they are, or shown me through what they've done to other people over and over and over again, but I still see this. I see this person for something somebody else, and everybody be like, "Man, this motherfucker is a what? The fuck, huh?" But I love this person. Mm-hmm. This person is great. You just don't see the greatness that I see. Mm-hmm. And then time and time again, that gets shown to me who it is. And it's like, damn. Yeah. So it don't hurt. It does hurt. It hurts like a motherfucker.
I was about to say,
it hurts like a motherfucker. But at the same time, I also understand that, damn, people are fucking people. I thought it was going to be different with you, but damn, people are fucking people.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. So you get the people are going to be people. Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, not to me, though.
But not
to me, though, because I ain't showing you nothing but love.
Yeah.
How you do that to me, though? No, that's really how I feel a lot of times. And that's how I be in them situations where, especially with people that you love. Like, that's how that happens. That's how people that you love hurt you the most, because you let them the closest. So that's why I thought the clip was interesting. It was really, when I saw the clip, that shit hit me. That shit hit me because I never heard nobody speak like, fuck it, cut them off. Cut family, love. I ain't even talking about just family. I'm talking about close friends, loved ones, people that you really, really are like. People that have like, because you have people that are like family that might not be your blood, but it's close to you like family because they've been there so long. And those type of people, like sometimes those people can't see you in a different light.
So do you think that that was an interesting statement? Do you feel like do you feel like the length of time that someone knows you is the level of love that they give to you?
No, I don't think that at all. Because there are people that are blessed enough to have people they grew up with as family or close loved ones. There are people that are blessed to have those people still by their side, that have their best interests at heart. Those are blessed people, but everyone doesn't have that. So I'm not saying the length of time, because there are people that I've met in the last couple of years that I share more moments with than people that I've took baths with. You know what I mean? Or just because our lights were cut off together, when we were a kid and we went through that type of shit doesn't give you the right to make me feel like I owe you any type of extra obligation.
You know, as I sit back and look over my life, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I've always had seasons, and I don't know. Seasons with people. Not necessarily long term. I think seasons where people come in and out. But I have seasons, and I don't know if that's just me. And I have to actually look into that because I want to look into something called human design. Human design. This girl that what's her name? Kiara Fleming. We met her at this Millionaire Mixer a couple of years ago. With Prospect and Sheena and them. And she's into this thing called human design. Human design, just like similar to, more in depth than the 16 characteristics thing that we did with the INJs and all of that.
ENFP.
Yeah, it's a little bit more in depth with who
that's the Myers-Briggs personality trait.
Yeah, so the human design is like more in depth as far as who you are as a person and how you live your life. And when I think about my life over the last damn near 40 years.
You old as shit.
My God.
You look good, girl.
40 years.
And you smell good too. 40 years.
When I look over my life over the last 40 years, I've had seasons. Like it almost feels like I lived the life of like a military child.
Like moving place to place, but
people to people.
But do some of them people come back?
Yeah, some people do come back.
So you're like a people brat.
So it's weird, right? So like if I think about like my childhood friend, like I'm talking about early childhood friends, like I'm sorry, shit that I probably shouldn't even remember, like before first grade. I remember that like so vividly with Mia and like the people from Houston and all of that stuff. That was one that was one part of my life. Then I was ripped from that and I was put into John Eaton, and that was another part of my life. And I had a best friend there who I loved and adored there. And then then it was junior high school, and it was a group of friends there. And then it was high school, and it was another group of friends there. But still, some of those other old friends were entwined there. Then I went to college, and it was another group of friends there, only for a year's worth of time. And then this job, another group, and that job, another group. I feel like I have seasons with people. I haven't had anybody but myself be a staple in my life. And I think because I've heard people say like you can't trust somebody who keeps switching friend groups or like all these different things. I kind of always didn't want to see my life the way it is, but maybe that's just how my life is. Like,
that's crazy.
I just
I ain't never, as long as I've known you, and I have literally watched you do that, except for the childhood stuff. But like, you're right.
It's just seasons, and I pick
mine
up
is
stuff.
The opposite.
Yeah, yours
because
is the opposite. You brain niggas kicking and scratching. Come on, y'all. Come on. We gotta go over here.
Niggas, you can't bring that gun here though. No.
Kicking and scratching. Come on.
Put that shit away.
Guys.
It's not that type of room.
You got people. You are.
So my shit is the same motherfucker since birth. Damn.
And that's another aspect of how different we are. And that's another aspect of why we bump heads so much.
True.
Cause and I feel like, but I feel like I have always wanted like those long term type friendships. So like even with my good girlfriend Angie, like we've known each other since junior high school, right. But we've went through seasons. You know, where it was like a season when you're here, and then a season when you're there, and a season when you're not, and then you're here and you're here. I just always live my life in seasons, and I have to. I don't know if I can. So it's like something in me wants to say, is there? It might be a problem that maybe that it's an issue. But then there's another part of me that says that's just how I operate.
Right.
Like that's just
maybe
how
that's you.
That's what
it's
I'm
just
saying.
Fucking you. It's nothing
so
wrong
like
with that.
that's what I'm saying. So one part of me is like, oh, you gotta figure that shit out. Why you don't hold on to people? But then now I have this louder voice who's been getting louder. She's been getting. I have been
pissing
getting
me
louder.
off too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, and it's like
she has. You have really begun to use your voice, and I'm telling you, boy, it's been testing me, and I can admit it publicly.
Yeah.
Man, but I want you to know yourself fully too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
she has definitely, and just now she's like, no, that's just you. Yeah. That's just you. That's just what you need. You get what you go where the energy it needs, where you need to be fed. Wherever you need for your soul in that moment, that's where you go. And once you find that, you leave. So maybe if I lived in a past life, I probably was like a gypsy.
I can see that.
I probably went to town.
You got gypsy.
Yeah, town to town.
Yeah, you got gypsy.
And I maybe that's who I am.
I mean, look at your free flowing hair, your little gold hoop earrings.
So maybe that's I
always have like beads.
Yeah, I might have a gypsy spirit.
And you always smell like Zinjar. You have a gypsy. You actually do have a gypsy spirit.
That is so weird.
Yeah,
now I have to really look into that. Wow.
What the fuck do I have, man? I don't want to hear it.
Typical, like, kingdom drama.
What the fuck does that mean?
Like, any royal family, if you look at it, that's you. That they have the hierarchy. It's always a battle with the siblings and who is going to be the monarch. And then you have the friends who are there and the women who wants to take down the monarch. Literally.
Game of Thrones. An urban Game of Thrones.
Urban Game of Thrones.
The Myers.
Urban Game of Thrones. Because when you think about kings or like most of those things, they like are stationary, even though they conquer. Yeah. But they're stationary. And a lot of the drama that they experience is like, why did you just kill your brother? Like, you knew he hated you. The fact that you let this nigga cut your head off is your dumbass fault. You've known. For years.
You didn't see what he did to the Williams?
For years. That he hated you. But no,
Oh, shit. Game of Thrones.
That's why me and Alexis call you Sir Daniel.
I like when you and Alexis call me Sir Daniel.
It's a joke. Definitely not meant for you to like it that way. But yeah, that's how you are. You're like, but it's the bloodline. We've got to keep the bloodline going. No one can get in front of the bloodline.
And you like, man, fuck these niggas. They say fuck me.
Matter of fact, I'm ready to move on.
I've been waiting anyway. Bitch ass move. And I'm like, no, nothing can come between.
That is so interesting.
Remember we cut our hand palms together.
So then there's this other book that I'm curious that I was just watching this on Oprah. Mm-hmm. This is an old Super Soul Sunday episode, and this lady came on, and when I think about my life, this lady came on, and she was like, "Who would you be if as a woman? Who would you be as a woman if you weren't told to suppress your desires? Who would you be?" I don't quite know if who I am now and who I've been is the woman that I would have been if I wasn't told to suppress my desires.
So where do you think you would be? You think you would be further, or do you think you?
I don't think it's an issue of further.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an issue of probably inner happiness.
Oh, you're not happy?
That's not what I said.
No, I'm saying you said it's a matter of inner happiness.
Yeah, like the level of inner happiness and fulfillment that I probably would have
if you weren't suppressed. Suppressed meaning all right. You know, I'm gonna just say this, and I don't mean no offense by this. Everyone has been suppressed in some kind of way. let's think about me as a young. Hold on, wait. I'm not.
This was just a question. This was not.
who
This
would
is
you be?
this is not an issue of whether or not like you were suppressed and I was suppressed.
You
It
were-
was just a question that was presented.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
I
a
got you.
question that was presented, and even on your end, you could take that question too. It's not a woman's question.
Right.
It's not a
Yo,
man's
'cause
question.
you made it like
it's
it
just
was like it was a
no. It's
woman.
a question. It's a question. See, that's the thing. It was a statement to women, but as a man, you could
Take
take
that
that
yourself.
too.
Yeah,
because where would you
soon
be
as you
too?
said that, soon as you said that.
Yeah, so and I feel like we get so caught up in like
Man versus woman.
yeah, and
woman versus
it's
man.
not what that was
Just take
about.
it for you.
That was just a statement of if you didn't have to worry about displeasing people, who would you be?
Right.
If you didn't have to live up
If you were
to
just freely-
other people's expectations, who would you be? If that's just what the question
So
was.
it would be a matter of being inner happiness.
Yeah, I feel like I will probably be further along. If you say further, the further as far as success, but I will be further along in understanding who I am, and further if at 40 I could only imagine who I would be.
You know, I think we don't even realize as humans we're being suppressed when we are though.
Oh, I feel it. I feel it.
No, I'm talking about like people don't even realize they're being suppressed by systems, being suppressed by everything that is designed to keep you intact or keep you thinking a certain way is designed to suppress you. Because who are you if you had a free mind to think?
Yep. Who are you?
What
right?
if you just had to be a good person and you couldn't say I'm doing it because I'm trying to go to heaven?
I think this is a very good topic that we could probably keep expounding upon. But today is a very busy day for us.
Yeah, we do got a lot to do today. Let's talk about what we got to do today, and we can close it out with some more church news.
Well, we actually have to close out now.
Time.
So part two will follow up on, and the question will be, who would you be if you did not have to suppress your inner desires?
And we can use that clip from the Soul.
Yeah, the Super Soul Sunday. Yeah, so let's think about that. And if you have an idea of that, or if you never thought about that, and if you want to share who you would have been, email us at divinepurposepod, pod@gmail.com, or inbox us. Inbox us
too
at Divine Purpose podcast, and let's talk about that, because I think right now at 40, I'm leaning into my desires.
I don't know if I like it or love it.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know what that.
All right, y'all. This is another episode, part 2, coming up the following week, and hopefully we'll have some listener responses to the question, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
We love you and we honor and we praise you. Peace.
Peace.